Welcome for our final class for this series of cleansing practices. And tonight's class is particularly focused on the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is reliant on muscle contraction and our mechanical movement to get flowing and to pump around and do its job as part of our immune system and detoxification. So we are going to be doing quite a bit of movement and particularly focusing on the armpits, the neck, the groin area where there are clusters of lymph nodes, just to help increase that circulation through those areas. And that's going to hopefully assist our body with its natural detoxification process. We are going to start with some body awareness, and then the first posture we're going to practice will be a legs up the wall pose. So if you would like to already take your legs up the wall, please go ahead and do so. So making yourself comfortable, taking a moment to just drop into your body and let go of your day. Maybe a few vocal sighs just to let go. Letting go of any tension, anything that's on your mind, just sighing it out. Allowing your legs and hips to be heavy. Soften into your belly. And soften into your chest and shoulders. Relax your arms, wrists, and hands. Inhaling, lifting up through your spine, lifting into the crown of your head as you gently tuck your chin. Bringing awareness to your breath. Simply observing the natural flow of your breath in and out of your nose. Now you can continue breathing at your own pace or sink in with my guidance. We're going to inhale for the count of 4 and exhale for the count of 4. And we'll gradually build up into inhaling for 4, hold for 4, exhaling for 4, holding the breath out for 4, and just continuing to cycle around. So let's begin inhaling for 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. One more time, inhaling for 4. Exhale for 4. Now, if you can, adding on, inhaling for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold the breath out for 4. Again, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. One more time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. hold. And inhaling, returning to your regular breathing pattern. Transitioning from here into 5 rounds of Gauranga breathing. So as we inhale, silently drawing the mantra Gauranga into our mind. And as we exhale, saying the sound out loud for the entire length of our exhalation and drawing the sound in through our ears, into our mind, and down into our heart. So let's exhale completely and take a breath in. Go. Inhale. Go. Inhale. Go. Go. One last time. Goranga. Return to your regular breathing pattern, allowing the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. And carefully coming down onto your back with your legs up the wall. So sliding your hips right in close to the wall, taking your legs up, turning your palms up. And we're going to bring just a little bit of movement into this posture. So we've got a nice bit of draining the blood down from the feet, down the legs, just lifting the right foot off the wall as you rotate your ankle around, making some small circles. And back in the opposite direction. Good. Lower that foot to the wall, raising the left foot off, making some circles. And back in the opposite direction. Good. And left foot down and going into a nice strong point, and then flexing your toes back toward you. Getting a bit of a pumping action happening through the ankle joints, which helps to activate into the calf muscles. Let's do that one more time, pointing strongly and flexing. And come back to neutral position with your feet and ankles. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. And while you're lying in this position, just allowing yourself to completely relax and let go. Staying with your breath. One more breath here. Now carefully lower your knees down in toward your chest, and we'll walk our knees over to the right side, coming into a spinal twist. Gently pressing the soles of your feet into the wall and lowering your left shoulder down toward the floor. Extending your arms out to the sides. Just gently pressing your knees down toward the floor. Feeling a nice stretch through the lower back area. Beautiful. And walking back up to center and over to the other side. And allowing the right shoulder to come off the floor. And then turning your head to just position yourself where you're working the knees down and working the right shoulder down in the opposite direction. Okay, carefully come back to center, walking your legs up. Hug your knees into your chest, give them a little squeeze. And rolling over, coming back up and onto your knees. Starting with working into our neck, dropping your chin down toward your chest and raising the chin up. And lifting and lowering a few more times. Working into pumping action through these lymph nodes here in the neck. We're going to take it from side to side in a moment. One last time, lifting up. Come back to center. Nodding your head from side to side or shaking your head from side to side. Good. And very carefully staying in tune with any sensations in your neck so you're not straining your neck. You're going to drop the chin down and gently roll your head from side to side. Good. One more time each way. Excellent. And come back to center. Bring your head back to a neutral position. So in this kneeling position, you're slightly elevated, so it gives a little bit more of an opening through your side. So just take it easy as you come into that first stretch, lowering your hand to the floor as you reach up and over with the opposite arm. And come back up to center and up and over to the other side. And keeping going, moving with your breath. Anchoring down through the hip as you reach up and over. Inhaling for a nice big opening through the lungs and ribs. Exhale back to center. Inhale up and over. Last time. Come back to center. Over onto all fours. Working into the armpit area now and into our spine. Lowering all the way down onto your belly. Taking your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhaling as you lift up into a baby cobra. Exhaling to lower down. Continuing on for 5 wave-like motions where you're gradually building up and taking a little bit of extra awareness to the armpit area. Noticing that nice squeeze and contraction through the armpits. And then coming all the way up. Knees to the floor. And lifting back, coming into downward dog. Spreading your fingers and thumbs nice and wide, press the floor away and really send your hips back. Paddling out through your heels to warm up and stretch out through the backs of your legs. Good. Now settling both heels down, bringing a soft bend into your knees if needed. Take a breath here. Coming forward into plank position, we're going to do 5 chaturanga push-ups. So these are the yoga version of push-ups. Option to bring your knees down to the floor anytime, but try and keep your upper body moving in one straight line. So again, we're just focusing on that nice strong contraction and then muscle contraction through this armpit area. So lowering down, exhale. And pressing back up. Whoops, that should have been the exhale. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to lift up. Driving through your belly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I've lost count, but let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more for good luck. Nice. Taking it back into downward dog or child's pose. Take a breath. Walking your feet forward to meet your hands. And slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Head is the last to come up. Finding yourself in mountain pose at the top of your mat, let's get ready for 3 rounds of sun salutations. Grounding down through your feet, reaching into the crown of your head. On your next inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Taking 3 full breaths here, taking your time with each breath. One, two, three. Jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, offering your heart forward. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, lifting back, downward dog. So press the floor away, long into your spine, and send your hips back as you anchor your heels down toward the floor. It doesn't matter if they don't touch the mat. Two, three. Jump or step your feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. One more round. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Pressing into your palms, scooping in through your belly. Lengthen through your spine, sending the hips back. Two, three. Jump or step your feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Inhale, coming through chair pose. Holding here for 3 breaths. Now inhale, reaching up. And we're going to exhale, come all the way forward into a forward fold, holding your forward fold for 5 full breaths. You might want to take your feet hip distance apart, or you can keep them together if you like. And see if you can take your first 2 fingers around your big toes, or find a place that you can hold on to on your legs, or a belt around the soles of the feet. And then just working with your body and your breath to scoop in through your belly, keeping your hips stacked above your heels. As you start to fold in toward your legs. Inhale, feel your body expand. Exhale, feel everything soften and draw in. Good. One more breath here. Slowly release your fingers, your hands or your belts. Soft bend through the knees. Come all the way up through chair. Now standing up, coming through mountain to clasp your hands together behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, folding forward as you take your arms up and over. Option to softly bend the knees and lay your belly on your thighs. Whoop, there goes my mic. Sorry. Holding that stretch. One more breath here. Release. Soft bend through your knees, leading up through your hands, hinging up at the hips, and release. Take a shoulder roll or two. Good. And one more time, inhale, lifting up and finding your way into chair pose, only to then bring the elbows to the outside of the right knee, coming into a revolved chair. Pressing the palms together and turning to look over your shoulder. Pressing into your knees. And coming over to the other side, rotate back to center. Stretch all the way up, nice and tall. Exhale over to the other side. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Press the palms together, broaden through the chest, spiraling through lower back up into the ribs. Nice. And lift up. Exhale. Take a breath in mountain pose. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jump back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, come back into downward dog for a breath, and then we'll move through our standing sequence. If you like, you can inhale and float the leg up, but the leg lift is optional. We'll take the right foot in between the hands, keeping the back knee up off the floor if you can. Option to drop the knee to the floor anytime. Stacking the front knee above the ankle, navel drawing in as you lift up. Lengthen into your back heel, holding here. Remember, this is a lymphatic flow class, and we are all about muscle contraction and getting things moving. So there is going to be a little bit of a strengthening theme, a little bit of a circulation happening, heat flow, all very good for us. Exhale. So option here is to just swivel around to the other side, or take your hands to the floor, step back, and vinyasa over to the next side. And lift back. Inhaling to sweep the leg up, left leg up, and through. Setting up that foundation first, knee above the ankle, lengthen into the back heel. Inhale, raise the arms. Settling into your breath. Consciously slowing down your breath to help moderate your heart rate, giving you a sense of poise within this starting to become an invigorating practice. And release. Hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhale. Exhale, back into downward dog. Take a breath. Inhale, taking the right leg forward. Setting yourself up, raising the arms up. So if you're feeling unstable anytime as we go into a revolved version of this pose, broaden your stance by walking your right foot out slightly, and that'll help create more stability. So we're going to inhale, take the arms up, and then exhale, bring our hands to heart center. So starting by revolving around to the right, staying here if that feels strong enough, or you can even open out that lower hand, taking the arm up, or elbow to the outside of your knee, palms pressing together, just like we did in chair pose, grounding down through your feet, scooping in through your belly. And lift up, whoop, and come back to center. Step back, lower down, inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Taking your time, setting up your foundation. And when you're ready, taking your arms, hands to palm center, palms in prayer to your heart center, rotating around to the left. And if you can, finding an elbow to the outside of your knee. Keep lengthening back into your back heel. Slowly lift up back to center and hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale. One more variation or version of that pose. We're going to inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, stepping your foot forward. This time, keeping your back toes tucked under, but drop your knee down. Coming up into a lunge position first. And then taking your hands to heart center. Left elbow to the outside of your knee, revolving again, but in a low lunge position. Press down strongly into your back toes and your front foot, creating that nice, strong foundation for yourself. Slowly release back to center, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down, inhaling up. Exhale. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale. Step your foot forward. Keep the back toes tucked under. Finding your way up into a lunge position, taking the arms up to start. And when you're ready, exhaling, hands to heart center and elbow to the outside of your knee. Hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. Coming back into downward dog. We're almost coming into a rest. We're going to go into downward dog and then flip over into wild thing. I'm moving out a little because I got a wall so close. Just be mindful if you have furniture around you. We're going to inhale, raise the right leg up. Bending through that top leg. And then we're going to slowly, and you can use your shoulders, so take your body weight forward to bring your toe to the floor. So essentially we're going to flip our dog over into wild thing. Toes to the floor. Nice big expression, open. And come back to center. Both feet to the floor. And raising the left leg up. Rolling that hip open, bending through the knee, and carefully lowering your toes to the floor. Open out. Exhale. Finding your way back into downward dog. And now we bring our toes, knees to the floor. Finding your most favorite recovery pose or resting pose. So you might even want to come and lay on your back if you like. Take a little mini shavasana, or finding your way into a variation of child's pose that feels comfortable. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Mm. Such a beautiful, invigorating, clear feeling after we go through a flow like that, where it's strengthening and gets our circulation going. It really helps to clear the mind and energize the body. One more breath here. All right. Taking a sip of water if you need to, and then finding your way into a seated position. Bring the soles of your feet together in butterfly position. Pressing the soles of your feet together and taking your hands around your toes. Working your knees down toward the floor and sitting up nice and tall through your spine. So you've got that two-way energetic of lifting, lifting, lifting through your spine, but then pressing the knees down. Holding here for another 2 breaths. Now inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, lowering your elbows down to the insides of your legs, folding forward over your feet, and gently pressing your knees down toward the floor. Lifting up and release out of the pose. Bring your knees together. Give yourself a little hug. Relax and soften into your hips. And come over onto your knees. We'll be finding our way to camel pose, starting with easy camel and gradually building up through some modifications. You can make it your own journey, just staying at whichever modification or variation feels comfortable for you. So starting with hips to your heels and taking your hands back, fingers to the floor, and the main focus is on lifting and opening up through the heart center and feeling that lengthening and opening through your spine and your upper back, broadening through your collarbones. Exhale, soften, relax into your chest. And on your next inhale, lift, open, expand, lifting the chin, maybe taking the head all the way back. Feeling your lower back lifting up out of your sacral area. Exhale, release. Let's do that one more time, seeing if you can lift your hips up off your heels. So lifting through the chest, lifting the head back, and maybe lifting the hips. Exhale, lower the hips to your heels, chin toward your chest, and come to sit on your heels. So we'll just do one little exercise before we start building up into full camel, and that is to interlock your hands and take your palms up and really focus on lifting and lengthening through your spine. This is exactly the experience of visualizing and feeling as if all of your spine, all of your vertebrae are lengthening away from one another. That's the lift that we want to create when we go into camel pose. So we're not just hinging through our lower back, we're actually really lifting and lengthening. Exhale, release. Lifting up onto your shins with your toes tucked under. Knees are hip distance apart. Inhale, lift and lengthen, hands to heart center. We're going to practice that same lift through the spine as you send your hips forward and take your upper body back. And come back to center. Now inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, taking one hand to your heel and the other arm up, pressing the hips forward and come back to center. Over to the other side. Hand to your heel, lifting the hips forward, press them forward, opening up through your heart center. Come back to center. Now taking both hands back, pressing down into your feet, pressing the hips forward, taking your gaze up and lift up. Now going to full camel, flattening out through your feet. If it's getting a little strong on your knees, you can take your mat folded up a little as extra cushioning under your knees. Just being really mindful of your spine here. So taking it little bit by little bit, pressing the hips forward, lifting and lengthening out of your spine as you reach back to your heels and opening up and broadening through this whole front body and keeping your breath flowing as best you can. So aim to hold there. Once you come into full camel, aim to hold for about 5 breaths. But if you need to come out sooner, go ahead and do so. Sending your hips forward, taking your head back. And lift up. Going down, sitting on your heels, turning your palms up, taking a couple of breaths here. All right, as a counter pose, coming down onto your back. And gently bringing your knees in toward your chest. That's it. Lengthening your tailbone down toward the floor. And release, making some small circles with your knees, either holding your knees or just hands by your sides. Gently massaging into your sacrum and lower back area. And circling in the opposite direction. Come back to center. Positioning yourself now to get ready to go into shoulder stand with the legs up and then taking the legs over into plow pose. So this time we're really again working into the neck area. Definitely the glands, but also because tonight is the lymph class, working on sort of, yeah, contracting and stimulating in through the lymph nodes in the neck region. All right, so taking your time to build yourself up into taking your legs up. If you feel more comfortable doing a half position, just stop with your hips weighted in your hands. I'll take you through it step by step, and then you can stop wherever feels comfortable. So taking your hands under your hips and walking your shoulder blades in toward each other and start to kick the legs up. Holding this position for a half shoulder stand. Engaging through Mula Bandha, so you're gently lifting through your pelvic floor. Further still is to interlock your hands behind you and then take your hands and palms to your upper back as you raise your legs up. Squeezing through the legs. And engaging in Mula Bandha as you hold this position. Naturally engage in Jalandhara Bandha through the neck position here. Just breathing naturally. And the upper body stays in the same position as you bring your toes over. So if you're in a half shoulder stand, you're just going to have to use a little bit of momentum to take your legs over. Option to interlock your hands, straightening your arms out behind you as you reach your toes over in the opposite direction. Try to lift your hips so that they're stacked above your shoulders. Doesn't matter if they're not, but nice to create that lift through your spine and that really strong contraction and closure through the neck area. One more breath. Slowly rolling out of the pose, carefully lowering your spine to the floor. And either tucking your legs in or just lowering your legs like a drawbridge. Turning your palms up, letting your legs be heavy, and take a mini Shavasana. Bending your knees, feet to the floor. Just taking your feet out just wider than your hips. And we'll take our hands palms down underneath our hips, going into a modified version of fish pose, taking this whole neck region in the opposite direction now. So press down into your forearms and palms as you lift your upper body, lifting through the shoulders just enough so that you can lower the crown of your head back to the floor. And carefully release, sliding the head back, upper body to the floor. Release your arms and allow your knees to fall in toward each other. Take a breath. With your arms at shoulder height and your feet just wider than mat distance apart, we'll go into some side to side movements, moving your knees from side to side, feeling a nice stretch all the way from the lower back down into the hips. And when you're ready, making yourself comfortable in Shavasana, just giving yourself a little bit of time to, before you go into Shavasana, if there's any parts of your body that need some attention, any last stretches that you want to do, go ahead and do them before settling in for a short yoga nidra. And when you make yourself comfortable in Shavasana, you might like to cover your eyes to block out any light. It's actually really nice if you have an eye pillow, because the weight of the eye pillow on your eyes just adds another lovely experience to help us relax even more. Just taking this time to notice how your mind and body feel after your practice. Observing that gentle increase of circulation of your blood and fluids, and also your energy or prana. Our asana practice is such a wonderful form of self-care. It's therapeutic on so many levels and just a fantastic way to maintain health and vitality on a physical level and also on a more subtle level of our energy and our mental plane. And especially with this approach for keeping our body clean and cleansed, detoxified, and working with our lymphatic system, it's a really good way to help prevent the onset of illness or sickness as well. So in that sense, it's a good investment, investment of our time, preventative healthcare. And just letting your whole body be heavy as if it's sinking into the earth beneath you. Feeling as if the entire front of your body is getting lighter and lighter, drifting upwards into the sky above you. Relaxing into your legs, your hips, and your torso. Relax into your shoulders and arms. Your head is heavy and your face is soft. Shifting your awareness to your breath. Just starting to take some nice sweeping breaths, inhaling completely and exhaling completely. And then we're going to take that sweeping inhale and exhale up and down our spine, visualizing your breath flowing all the way down to the base of your spine. And exhaling, visualizing it flowing all the way back up your spine to the crown of your head. Just continuing in this way, inhaling the breath all the way down to the base of your spine, exhaling it back to the top. Then we're going to build on that visualization of seeing your breath sweeping all the way down to your toes, exhaling all the way back up to your head. And seeing if you can expand the breath all the way out to your fingertips, helping your breath and your vital energy to expand out into every cell of your body. Exhaling back up the spine to the head. And then just seeing if you can, without too much effort, just hold this vision of your breath and your vital energy really flowing freely out into every cell of your body. And visualizing your entire body lit up with fresh prana and vital energy. All your channels are open. And then slowly, gradually releasing that visualization, knowing that your body will continue to be sustained by vital energy, prana, and coming back to a regular breathing pattern. And taking one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart center. And we're going to finish our practice with 10 rounds of Garanga breathing. Just saying the mantra at a volume that feels comfortable for you, audible enough that you can hear it and meditate on the sound. But it might be nice and gentle at this stage of your practice where you're in a more relaxed state. Going in your own time, syncing with your breath. Goranga. 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 One last time. Goranga. Coming back to your regular breathing pattern. Releasing your hands to the floor, turning your palms up. Just taking a minute or two here to relax and rest with nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Slowly coming back into awareness of your breath, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your chest, cherishing these moments of stillness and self-care where we get to take a break from our day, restore and replenish. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, rocking your head from side to sides. Then finding your way over onto one side and rest for a moment, resting your head on your upper arm. Pressing yourself up to a seated position. And we'll close off our practice by bringing our palms together in prayer position, bowing to offer our respects to each other, and bowing once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming to practice. I hope you feel good.